character. So
Mm-hmm.
about the role and character. Well, you voiced Aria. I'm not gonna ask who you voiced. What was your initial impression of the character?
I mean, exactly what she ended up being. When I got the dialogue, it was very much, she's cute, she's friendly, she's curious, she's a little naive. But yeah, that was the general vibe.
How did you prepare for the role?
I always figure out personality traits, like the ones I stated. And then I will sort of figure out like postures, how do they stand, what's their relationship to each character. You're gonna have a different way that you react or respond to your best friend giving you sarcasm versus finding an insult through Damien or something. So sort of developing that inner life is usually the preparation.
Ooh, what other voice really stood out to you aside from yours?
Ooh.
Yeah.
All the voice actors are so good. Oh my god. They're all fantastic. Ooh, I don't want to pick one. I like them all. I'm not gonna pick. I like them all a lot. I think they all did a really excellent job portraying the energy of their character specifically. So I'm not gonna choose.
Yeah, everyone did a great job, including you. Like, I really like what I hear with the voices. It's so funny. It baffles my mind when I hear you guys say some of the dialogue. That's what I oh my god, especially like towards the end, because the beach episode is like the goofiest episode, and
yes,
you guys have the weirdest dialogue during that part. The one scene with the girl, the Little Mermaid reference is like, oh my goodness. They're thinking about oh my god, I don't even want to say the one line that I'm thinking of, but where she's like, oh my goodness, I never know what it's like to not be with. I was just like, this girl's unhinged. So, I was just like, oh my goodness. So when I hear those lines, it cracks me up. I'm like, oh, you guys really said that. I cringe a little. I can't believe this made it to the screen.
It's not the worst I've ever said. It was, some of it's funny, like the ones you're mentioning. But I am a horror actor. I do all sorts of voice acting, but I have gotten in this booth and screamed literal bloody murder because I've been the victims in horrors. And those characters say some crazy stuff, and I've done villains before, especially like seductress villains. So innuendo lines are they're no new thing to me, and I find them quite hilarious.
Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely put the tag 16 plus for a reason, because I was just like, this is kind of crazy. Did you have any input into the development of your character's voice or personality?
No, Aria's voice is just me. And her personality is just, we've been talking about it, she's sort of the most average human being as possible, because you want her to be relatable, because she's the main character. It shows up a lot in other visual novel stuff, like the Danganronpa games, right? Your main character is very, like, plain. There's development, but you need them to be able to be placeholders for the person that's playing. So, and Aria's voice is just my own, which was very nice because I can do, different voice styles and different pitches, but it is nice to get cast as a character that is supposed to be relatable with your regular speaking voice, because then you can be like, not only is it easier to do all of the dialogue, but it's also a little bit of an ego boost, because you're like, oh, I sound like an everyday nice person. Yay!
It's giving basic. It's giving. I want to go to Starbucks.
Yup.
Where's my avocado toast and my latte grande? What was the most challenging aspect to voicing your character?
Ooh. Definitely making sure that all of the routes still felt authentic, because that can be tricky when you are in choice-based games, trying to make sure that your character is themselves and stays with their personality and stays with their true sort of inner workings when the choices aren't yours to make. So I had to sort of adapt and make sure that I was able to be the Aria who would make that choice for each one of the routes, which keeps her the same. You want that inner core to be the same, but choices do inform a person as you grow and you make them. So that's definitely the trickiest part, are when a player or anyone is allowed to make different choices, trying to keep that character whole and still themselves in the different routes. That's definitely the trickiest.
What was your favorite aspects of voicing the character, and even like the favorite moment you had with it?
Oh. So, favorite thing about voicing her is that she had a lot of questions. There wasn't, like, she had a lot of statements, don't get me wrong, but a lot of her dialogue was very like, what is this? Or how does that work? Or what do you think about this? Or what are you trying to tell me? And I love characters that are consistently pushing the plot forward, where it's very much like, give me info, give me information, let me respond to it. And I'm very much like playing scene provokers, so I liked that aspect. And the part that I will say specifically that I remember doing, and I think it's because it kept getting changed a little bit, but I just remember that triangular theory of love paragraph. Yup, and it's a cool concept. I think it really is a great base point for her as a character, but that is definitely the moment that stood out, is that scene with Damien where she's like writing down or whatever, and she's just over and over that exact same dialogue thing of like the triangular theory of love. That's the part I remember.
Love is made of intimate compassion and commitment.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness, it's just like, bruh. I know you said the girls' moments were your favorite. Was there anyone that was your favorite that was like good for voicing, like the hibachi scene or like the beach episode? Like, was there one in particular that you liked the most from there?
I mean, scene-wise to voice is always, this is gonna sound so horrible, always the trauma.
Oh.
Again, I give this answer because I am, I specialize a lot in horror. So any character in any genre that has to have a very emotionally unstable and vulnerable scene is something that I, as an actor, love getting to portray. The worse it is, to an extent, but the worse it is, the more I enjoy it, because tapping into that, like, really hardcore emotional reaction is something that just makes me so excited to perform. So definitely the trauma.
Was it her trauma or Damien's trauma?
I would say hers, but hers in the aspect of like anytime she needed or was emotionally vulnerable versus trying to help somebody else.
Okay, because I know she has her backstory. It's so small in comparison when you think about it, because I was just like, we kind of just made that last second. It's like, okay, we got... No, it kept getting changed last second. That's what happened, because I was just like, I remember her thing was that some guy did a joke on her. Like she's like, yeah, we're gonna make her date me, fall in love with me, and then like make her into like a public joke or something like that. And then I was just like, it kept getting rewritten. So I was just like, the outcome of it. So something it felt like not really as in depth as I wanted it to be. But like I don't know if you remember that backstory she had. So but yeah, I was just like, I wish I did it more justice because we didn't talk about her family life because I wanted to keep it hidden for that point in time. But we just talked about her being like emotionless because I had written that in mind when she had her original design because I was giving her more the villainous aesthetic, but now she has like the more princess motif. I feel like it could work, but it feels kind of out of place as well. So what were your thoughts on her backstory in that sense?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. There's always more to be developed and discovered, and you know, flashback territory. Maybe that we can give me the benefit of performing in that trauma, like. Yeah, like, oh, what was that scene like? Yeah, I think you said it all. Like, there's always more to be developed and played with and sort of put into her character and how she grew from it.
Yeah, I don't know if do you think that time has passed to actually really look into it? Because I feel like she kind of recovered from it when you go into Damien's house. She's like doesn't really think too much about it after the girls' night out. But you think that's still something she really thinks about every now and then?
Yeah, something like that. Even if you have passed it and you have dealt with the emotions from it, I think it's one of those things that would come up anytime a similar emotion is triggered by a different situation. So anytime, you know, maybe there's a happily ever after and she dates one of these boys and marries them and dies with them, but if in the future, right, she has to retry and date, then that sort of inner emotional turmoil of like, is this real, would probably resurface.
Oh, speaking of which, do you think she's actually ready for a relationship at this point?
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, because like, you know, most of the time it's like have like the either like the kissing and all, but like the whole point of this game was to just get ready for the relationship. So it's just like, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I think everybody always needs to work on themselves. Sometimes you can do that with a partner. So I think in some of these options, she could probably work on herself and her partner could work on herself while they're in a relationship. I think there are a few that we have talked about that maybe that would not work, but I think it's okay for her to jump into it. Maybe not the extra toxic ones. That might just make it worse. But the healthy ones, yeah.
Yeah, okay, extra toxics, but you want her with silver, so like, just not Michelangelo toxic, just like silver toxic. Like, I still need to understand why is one more toxic than the other, but okay. It's just, it's like, I was just like, I know you want to be like silver. She could be with silver, but she can't be with Michelangelo. Such bias. But honestly, the silver love is understood because even when I'm like, even now I'm like, you know what? I think I'm getting gaslight into liking silver at this point because I'm like, you know what? He's not that bad of a character, right? I was like, I made him. I know he's a bad character. So, did you relate to your character aside from like the looks department? I don't remember what you said in that. Because she's a blank canvas, so.
Yes, she's a blank canvas, so I think she's relatable in the aspect of like, I can sort of like mold her a bit to have a bit of my own traits when I was voicing her, right? So there's a little bit of sarcasm that I would not put onto her blank canvas character form when she's talking with like Serenity. or doing some of that banter back and forth with some of the boys. It's a little bit more sarcasm and maybe funniness thrown in there that I don't think her staple point had, that came from me. So yeah, there's a little bit of me mixed in there related to.
Yeah, she goes for all the toxic guys just like me. She's just like me for real, for real. She's going for
No
like...
comment.